The old way to build a startup: spend 6 months writing code, burn through savings or raise capital, launch to silence, realize you built the wrong thing, pivot or die. The new way: talk to 10 potential customers before writing a single line of code, pre-sell before you build, use AI to ship an MVP in days, not months, iterate based on real feedback, hit profitability in the first year. The difference isn't just speed, it's survival rate. Most startups fail because they build things nobody wants. The new playbook eliminates that risk entirely. This is episode 3 of Founder of the Future, and we're breaking down the exact process, step by step, that founders are using to build profitable companies in 2025 without teams, without funding, and without wasting years on products that don't work. In the first 2 episodes of this series, we covered why one-person companies are possible and why startups without employees are the future of work. But there's a gap between understanding the trend and actually executing. Most founders know they should validate before building. Most know they should use AI. Most know they should focus on profitability over growth. But knowing and doing are different things. The problem is that the traditional startup playbook, the one taught at Y Combinator, written about in TechCrunch, repeated in every startup podcast, was designed for venture-backed companies. It assumes you'll raise money. It assumes you'll hire a team. It assumes you'll burn cash for years before becoming profitable. That playbook doesn't work for solo founders. You can't afford to spend 6 months building the wrong product. You can't afford to hire before revenue. You can't afford to optimize for growth metrics that don't translate to cash. You need a different playbook, one designed for founders who are building lean, fast, and profitable from day one. That's what this episode is about, the exact framework that's working right now. Section 1. Start with the problem, not the solution. The number 1 reason startups fail: solving problems that don't exist. Founders build products they think people need without validating that those people actually have the problem. The new playbook flips this. You start with brutal honesty about whether the problem is real. And the way you do that is simple. Talk to people who have the problem. Not surveys, not hypothetical conversations. Real, specific discussions with people who are actively experiencing the pain you think you can solve. Here's the framework. Find 10 people in your target market. Ask them to describe their current workflow for the problem you think exists. Don't pitch your solution. Don't explain your idea, just listen. If 8 out of 10 people describe the problem unprompted, meaning they bring it up without you leading them toward it, the problem is real. If fewer than 8 mention it, either the problem doesn't exist or you're talking to the wrong people. This sounds obvious, but most founders skip it. They assume they already know the problem because they experienced it themselves. But personal experience is a sample size of 1. It's not enough. The best places to find these people? Reddit, Twitter, LinkedIn, niche communities, industry-specific Slack groups or Discord servers, anywhere people are complaining in detail about real problems. Reddit is particularly useful because people are brutally honest. There's no filter, no politeness. If a problem is real, people will be ranting about it in subreddits. If it's not, the complaints don't exist. Example: a founder wanted to build a tool for freelance designers to manage client feedback. Before building anything, they spent a week in design subreddits and Slack communities, reading threads about client management. What they discovered: the real problem wasn't feedback management. It was payment delays, clients not paying on time, designers not knowing how to chase invoices without damaging relationships. That insight changed the entire product. Instead of building a feedback tool, they built an automated invoicing and follow-up system. And because they validated the problem first, they pre-sold to 30 designers before writing a line of code. The lesson? Don't assume, validate. And validate by listening, not pitching. Section 2. Sell before you build. Once you've confirmed the problem is real, the next step isn't building, it's selling. This is the hardest mental shift for most founders. The instinct is to build first, then figure out how to sell it. But that's backward. If you can't sell the idea, you definitely can't sell the product. And if you build first, you've already committed months of time to something that might not work. The new playbook is sell the vision, deliver manually, automate later. Here's how it works. You create a simple landing page that describes what the product will do, not what it does, what it will do. Your pre-selling access. The landing page needs 3 things. First, a clear description of the problem. Use the language your target customers used when you talk to them. Second, a simple explanation of how your solution works. 1 paragraph, no jargon. Third, a call to action. Either pay now for early access or join a waitlist if payment feels too aggressive. Then you drive traffic. Post in the communities where your target customers hang out. Run small ad tests on Reddit or Twitter. Send cold emails to people who match your ideal customer profile. The goal isn't millions of visitors. It's 10 to 20 people who care enough to either pay or commit. If you can't get 10 people to commit before you build, the product won't work. Period. No exceptions. The market is telling you something. Listen. But here's the key. When people do commit, you don't have a product yet, so you deliver the value manually. You do the work by hand, using AI to help you scale, but you're still involved in every transaction. Example, a founder wanted to build an AI tool that generated personalized cold emails for B2B sales teams. Instead of building the tool first, they created a landing page offering done-for-you cold email campaigns. They charged $1,500 per campaign. 5 companies signed up in the first 2 weeks. The founder used ChatGPT and Claude to write the emails, personalized them based on research, and sent them manually through the client's email tool. The clients got results. The founder made $7,500. And critically, the founder learned exactly what the automation needed to do. 6 weeks later, they built the tool. But by that point, they'd already validated the market, generated revenue, and learned the edge cases that most MVPs miss. The product worked on day one because it was solving a problem the founder had already solved manually dozens of times. The lesson: don't build in a vacuum. Sell first, deliver manually, learn what works, then automate. Section 3. Build the MVP in days, not months. Once you've validated demand and delivered value manually, you build the MVP. And the key word is minimum. Not feature complete, not polished, minimum viable. The mistake most founders make is scope creep. They think the MVP needs to be impressive. It doesn't. It needs to work. That's it. One core workflow, automated. Everything else is phase 2. Here's the framework. Write a 1-page product requirements document. Describe exactly what the MVP does. Be specific. List the features. Then cut half of them. Whatever's left is your MVP. Example PRD for the cold email tool. The product takes a target company name and generates 10 personalized email variants. It pulls data from LinkedIn, the company website, and recent news. It outputs the emails in a CSV. That's it. No CRM integration, no automated sending, no analytics dashboard, just input company, output emails. That scope can be built in days using AI coding tools. A founder who's never written production code can describe that workflow to Claude or ChatGPT, get a working prototype, debug it with AI assistance, and ship a functional product in under a week. The tools that make this possible: Cursor and Claude Code for AI-assisted coding, Replit for instant deployment, Supabase for databases, Stripe for payments, Vercel for hosting. All of these have generous free tiers. The total cost to ship an MVP is under $50. But there's a critical step most founders skip: testing with real users before launch. Once the MVP is functional, you don't announce it publicly. You give it to the 10 people who prepaid or committed. You watch them use it. You ask for feedback. And you fix the biggest issues before opening it up. This is where AI tools are transformative, because iteration is fast. A user reports a bug. The founder describes the problem to Claude Code. Claude generates a fix. The founder tests it, deploys it. Done. Same day. That cycle used to take weeks. The new playbook is ship fast, learn fast, fix fast. And the tools enable that speed in a way that wasn't possible 5 years ago. Section 4. Scale through systems, not people. Once the MVP works and early customers are happy, the next phase is scaling. But scaling doesn't mean hiring. It means building systems. Traditional startups scale by adding people. More customers means more support staff. More revenue means more salespeople. More features means more engineers. That's the old model. The new model is, every time you find yourself doing something repeatedly, automate it. If you can't automate it, document it so thoroughly that a tool or contractor can do it without your involvement. Example: customer onboarding. The first 10 customers the founder onboards manually, walks them through the product, answers questions, troubleshoots. But by customer 10, the founder notices patterns. The same questions come up, the same friction points appear. Instead of continuing to onboard manually, the founder records a Loom video walking through setup, builds an automated email sequence that sends the video plus documentation, creates an FAQ doc based on the 10 most common questions, and integrates a chatbot trained on the FAQ to handle support. Now, customer 11 through 100 onboard themselves. The founder only steps in for edge cases, That's leverage. Another example, content creation. Most founders know they need to create content to drive inbound leads, but writing blog posts, recording videos, and posting on social media is time-consuming. The system approach. The founder writes one long-form piece per month, either a deep blog post or a video script. Then they use AI to repurpose it. Claude turns the blog post into 10 Twitter threads. ChatGPT turns the threads into LinkedIn posts. An AI tool like Descript edits the video and generates short clips for YouTube Shorts and TikTok. 1 hour of creation becomes 30 pieces of content across multiple platforms. That's the kind of leverage that makes a one-person company competitive with teams. The framework is simple. Identify recurring tasks. Automate what you can. Document what you can't. Outsource strategically. Never hire until automation and outsourcing are both exhausted. And critically, use tools like Notion, Airtable, or Obsidian to document every process, every workflow, every decision. This documentation becomes the foundation for future automation. It's also what you hand to contractors if you do eventually need human help. Section 5. Optimize for profit, not growth. The final shift in the new playbook is psychological. Traditional startups optimize for growth, users, revenue, valuation, anything that impresses investors. One-person companies optimize for profit because profit is freedom. Profit means you don't need investors. You don't need to exit. You can grow at your own pace. This means making different trade-offs. A traditional startup might offer a free tier to maximize user acquisition. A one-person company charges from day one, even if it means fewer users. Because serving free users costs time, and time is the constraint. A traditional startup might raise prices slowly to avoid churn. A one-person company raises prices early and often because the goal is profit per customer, not total customer count. A traditional startup might build features to satisfy every user request. A one-person company says no to most feature requests and focuses on the core workflow that drives revenue. The mindset shift is, growth is a byproduct, not the goal. If the product works and customers are happy, growth happens naturally. But chasing growth before profitability is how startups burn out. The new playbook is hit $10,000 MRR, then $25,000, then $50,000. Each milestone gives you more runway, more freedom, more optionality. You're not racing to $1 billion exit. You're building a cash-flowing business that pays you well and gives you control. And the beauty of this model is that it's anti-fragile. If the market shifts, you pivot fast. If a competitor appears, you undercut them or out-niche them. If you get bored, you sell the business or automate it further and start something new. The one-person company optimized for profit is resilient in a way venture-backed startups aren't, because you're not dependent on investor timelines. You're not locked into a growth-at-all-cost trajectory. You can adapt. This is the new way to build a startup in 2025. Validate before you build. Sell before you code. Ship fast using AI. Scale through systems, not people. Optimize for profit, not growth. It's not easier than the old way. It's different. The old playbook required capital, teams, and years of runway. The new playbook requires focus, speed, and discipline. Most founders will still fail, not because the tools don't work, but because they can't execute. But for the founders who can, the upside is enormous. You can build $1 million business in a year, solo, profitable from month 6, fully in your control. No investors, no board meetings, no equity dilution. This was episode 3 of Founder of the Future, the final episode in this series. We've covered the rise of the one-person company, why startups without employees are the future, and the exact playbook for building in 2025. The tools exist. The playbook is proven. The only question is execution. If you're building something, this is the path. See you in the next series.